Hello, I'm Keith Pierce. Welcome to Save Our Towns, a series designed to guide and inspire those who are working hard in Appalachia to build strong communities. You're the mayor of a small Appalachian town, and while the day-to-day business keeps you busy, you're also thinking about building a town for the future. You've got tons of ideas, see opportunities, and believe you're the one who can leave a legacy for years to come. We hope to give you a voice and some value-added information. In this premiere episode, we'll visit the set of a movie in Big Stone Gap. Whitney Bonham reports this segment, which we call Examples of Awesome. Then we'll introduce you to Mayor Kyle Fletcher, whose town we're going to follow month by month. After that, a quick tip from an expert, followed by a short Virginia Tech faculty interview and 3 questions for a mayor. First, this story from Whitney Bonham, who incidentally was born in Chilhowie, about halfway between Blacksburg and Big Stone Gap.
We're here today in Big Stone Gap, Virginia, where the new movie Big Stone Gap is being filmed. As you can see, fictional character Ave Maria Mulligan's house is actually a house based here in the town. Filmmakers across the nation are always looking for interesting sights and scenes. And here we are at Mutual's Pharmacy, also in Big Stone Gap, the movie. Across southern Appalachia and southwest Virginia, communities have assets. It may be a scenic mountain vista, it may be a tumbling creek, or it may even be an old barn. These are unique scenes that filmmakers can utilize, whether it be in big blockbusters such as Lincoln and Captain Phillips, small independent films, commercials, or even reality shows. When movies come to town, some really cool things can happen. A couple of months ago, this was an abandoned gas station. Today, it's been transformed into the set of Carmine's. It's also an example of a business that was once an important part of this small community. Hosting a film crew can take a lot of time and resources from communities, but the benefits of having a film crew here for several weeks can produce great economic impact. If your community is interested in learning more about how to promote potential locations, the Virginia Film Office is a great resource. Please visit their website at filmvirginia.org to learn more about how this office works. They're always looking to get to know communities all across Virginia much better.
People in St. Paul like to say their town is where the coal fields meets the bluegrass. Over the year ahead, Mayor Kyle Fletcher has agreed to share his successes or failures in pushing an economic agenda. He explains why St. Paul deserves the limelight. It took 10 years for St. Paul to win its Virginia Main Street designation, but no one in the town gave up. Their spirit is captured in a statement that Mayor Kyle Fletcher remembers a high school coach once saying about the student athletic teams.
We're often small, and not many of us, but we're fast, strong, mean, and we're relentless. And I think that kind of has always characterized the town.
Like many other towns in southwest Virginia, St. Paul has suffered from job losses, and they're still smarting from the closure of their high school.
St. Paul has been a survivor for years. We understand what it is to be small and have to fight up and build up. We think that St. Paul has stepped up.
That's why we've chosen St. Paul to follow for a year during the course of this Save Our Town series. The mayor has promised to let us share his economic development journey through the good and the bad.
And we're the smallest Main Street town in the state. We didn't get that overnight. It took about 10 years of persistence. And we build ourselves around that Main Street, and that helps us, ourselves, the town itself, in expanding its economy and bringing people into us. We think that we're tough. We've always been tough.
Now for a quick tip from someone who could possibly help you attract a movie to your town.
Communities that really want to be proactive and be seriously considered probably need to determine those resources ahead of time, and obviously when there is an opportunity, if they're prepared, they're ready to go, it certainly sets them above the communities that haven't done that prep work.
You can read the complete interview with more advice from Randall Rose at the Save Our Towns website. Click on the Connect with Experts tab. Next, my colleague Holly Cobia interviews Emily Satterwhite of the College of Liberal Arts and Human Sciences. In her book, Dear Appalachia, she studied fan mail sent to authors who wrote best-selling literature set in the region.
Emily, you start your book with this line: For many Americans, Appalachia conjures up toothless hillbillies in overalls on sagging front porches, coal mining, poverty, moonshining, incest. Does fiction even today keep these images alive?
Absolutely. Fiction in bestsellers, but also reality television, horror movies. It's definitely out there. The negative stereotypes are something that most people from the region have to grapple with at some point in their lives.
And how do we overcome that?
Well, I think that we have to address, in some cases, the realities more than worry about those stereotypes. And I think that there are some dangers to the positive stereotypes that we have to be aware of as well, because often our instinct when faced with the negative stereotypes is to emphasize very romantic visions of the region, and I think that's a mistake too.
You point out the concept of Appalachia arose from fiction in the Gilded Age, when editors were interested in writing that reflected local color. Did Appalachia start as a fictitious concept?
I think it did. In some ways it is. In some ways the concept of region is fictional. It's constructed anyway. There is an Appalachia. We can argue over what the borders are, but it was, in some ways, began as an idea of a particular kind of place supposedly cut off from civilization. I don't think it has to remain that as a construct, as a fiction, but in some ways, any region is going to be our idea of that place. And the trick is to make that idea nuanced and complex and inclusive.
And how does fiction create a regional identity that actually affects our civic life today?
I think fiction can be really useful for constructing a regional identity for positive change. In some instances, regional identity has been a little bit exclusive in the sense of some people assume Appalachia is white, working class, only rural or only farmers. So I think the trick is for a stronger civic life is to have a more inclusive regional identity that recognizes racial diversity, different sets of values that can be here in addition to traditional values, and that the best civic life is a democratic civic life that draws in all residents of the region.
All right, Emily, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Each month, we ask 3 questions of a town manager or a mayor. You won't be surprised where we look to find a mayor for this episode.
My name's Pat Murphy. I'm the town manager of Big Stone Gap, Virginia. I already looked that up and I agree with it. It's home. Big Stone Gap is home. It's home to me. I grew up here. It's home to a lot of people like Adriana Trigiani, former Governor Linwood Holton, a cast of people called Big Stone Gap home. I think the biggest challenge is working through a transitional economy. Big Stone Gap, even though we're situated just outside the coal fields, our economy has been primarily based upon the coal industry. And of course, everyone knows the coal industry has declined most recently and really over a period of about 25 years. I think we're looking to transition into a tourism-based economy, probably service-based as well. And I think that's the biggest challenge facing us, is to continue to do the things that we need to do to help us make that transition and prosper as a town. One word that comes to mind about Big Stone Gap is it's a very walkable community. And also, when you come to Big Stone Gap, there are very meaningful experiences throughout this town. We've got several museums, we have a variety of parks, we've got a greenbelt walking trail that completely surrounds the town. So regardless of your capabilities, regardless of your age, regardless of your interests, Big Stone Gap's got something to do for everyone.
For more resources and contact information for the experts we've lined up for interviews, go to the Save Our Towns website. You can also share your stories there. Send thoughts on this show to saveourtowns@vt.edu. This is episode 1. Be sure to join us next time. Thanks for watching.